I think we're live. Oh man. Another week, another shake of the head, another Jesus Christ. I'll tell you what. How much more crazier can it get? That's what I keep telling myself. I'm sure it'll all work out in the end, right? Alright, got the water going. Let's come over here and fill my dirty sink. We'll rinse out the old coffee grinds. Just gonna enjoy the silence of the water. I was just watching some YouTube videos before I got going here, and it's just like, my God. I'm just trying to try to correlate my own life into what I'm seeing online. I just have a hard time relating. How do we do? Oh, that looks pretty good. And I guess the absolute caveat is I'm well aware online is not like how I live my life. I'm also aware of God. There are normal people online. I'm sure of it. It's just it's always funny to read about or interact with people online that are just absolute fucking specimens. But anyways, the video I just watched right now is there's I don't know how you even describe it without going to timeout. You gotta go to timeout. I guess I'm trying to think of all the correspondence I've had in my life in the written form discussing food. And I have had those correspondence. I have discussed, or I have had people contact me in the written form discussing food. But typically it was either about a location to go to eat food, an invitation to go to that location. We're down the bottom here. I always do it all. But I mean, I guess sometimes it was included what was going to be served, I guess. But I'll be honest with you, I really think probably, I mean, to throw a number out of the amount of times I've had those emails or text messages or whatever, written correspondence. I'm trying to throw a ballpark number on it. I don't even know what it would be. But the amount of specific food references and that latest file drop is just kind of alarming in my opinion. The one that I saw this morning that they're talking about, and it's kind of creepy, is they're talking about dried meat in the form of beef jerky. And it's like, what in the hell? It's just so terrible. I don't even understand it. I literally don't understand it. Come over here. I gotta get this chat set up. 1 second here. It's like, have a commercial first. So like, I mean, I don't know how to get too fucking crazy with it, but like, there's people alleging that the word beef jerky actually means something other than beef jerky. Now, what that actually means, I don't really know, but like, no one can come up with a good explanation of what that could potentially mean that isn't just terrible. You know, I've heard people comparing, like, you know, potentially drugs, not good, all the way up to like human meat, which definitely not good. Just like, what the hell? But it's just like the context of the emails and the way they talk about beef jerky, and like, it doesn't make sense because like, beef jerky is a preserved style of meat. It's dried meat. That's shelf stable. Now there's other style of prepared dried meat. I mean, one's called biltong. I think biltong's sun dried maybe. I don't really know for sure, but let me grab some water real quick. But if you're taking things at face value and calling it beef jerky, and then saying, hey, don't forget to bring a refrigerated container to put the beef jerky in. I want a couple ounces of beef jerky, and we just ran out of beef jerky. I need more beef jerky. I need beef jerky right away. And like, it's just like, what is happening, dude? Like, I mean, there's been other food references too that I don't really want to talk about on my channel because it's been talked about on the internet before. They're just so horrible. And I'm convinced all of it's true at this point. Absolutely convinced of it. It's just so bonkers. Everything's so bonkers. I just keep having to be reminded that like all the crazy shit that just came out is not even the worst stuff because they couldn't release the worst stuff. The bad stuff they had to keep redacted. It's too bad. The badness is too much. It's just like, well, what? Like, I'm running out of imagination. I can't. So, yeah, the beef jerky. So I guess I was just like, how many times have you ever text messaged somebody over beef jerky, right? Or you ever text somebody when your beef jerky supply is getting low and you need more beef jerky right away? Like, I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe it's just beef jerky, right? I'm trying to think the other thing that I just found out. Actually, I think I knew about this, but my brain just like blocked it out because it was just like so comically stupid. And this part, this part, not a conspiracy, not a I wonder. It's an actual verified fact. Let me get the AI involved so I don't say the wrong. I'm gonna give you my synopsis, then we'll Google it. Okay, my synopsis was just before Epstein went to jail the first time. A lotto ticket was purchased in, I believe, Oklahoma. And Oklahoma has a rule where you can have a corporation claim, or a trust perhaps, claim the winnings. And the winnings were claimed under the guise of the Zorro Corp, which was Jeffrey Epstein's corporation for his ranch. And it was an $80 million lotto ticket that they took the cash equivalent of, I think it was like $20 million. But the night of the drawing, there was a technical glitch in the verification of the numbers. So, like, normally it's drawn and it's like, yep, that's it. Well, this time they're like, oh, wait, we got it. Hold on. Give us a little bit here. Oh, there's something wrong with the machine. We got to wait a little bit. And then magically, winner, chicken dinner. And everyone, it's like, kind of like, nobody knew. Like, it wasn't like, Jeffrey Epstein won the lottery. It was like, oh, a lotto winner was won. Allegedly, they paid the gas station their percentage. Everything was up and up. Everything was above board. Nothing to see here, folks. And then I think it came out, somehow the information came out that the Zorro Corp or the Zorro Trust or whatever was involved. And then it was like, oh, it just happens to be the same name, no big deal. But like in the drop that came out, the signature that signed the lotto ticket was a dude that was like involved in the ranch. So it's absolutely confirmed now. So like wrap your head around that. What's up, Jeremy? Yeah. Multi-billionaire Jeffrey Epstein just happened to win the lottery at one point in his life. Think about that. Because when you're a billionaire, you're popping scratch offs and pull tabs and what the hell? Let's just go for the lottery real quick because when you're a billionaire or whatever, you need a couple more million. It's just like, what? That doesn't mean. But it's like it happened right after his prosecution and he was going to jail. Almost as though they were giving him a few $1,000,000 for his time to go to jail. Because like he kind of got caught. And if you know what he got caught for, he didn't do much time. Kind of a sweetheart. Actually, he basically got off and someone's like, wait a second. We live in a society that actually has rules. We just can't let this guy just go. He has to be in trouble for something. So they scaled everything way back to the point of like absurdity, like absolute absurdity. And he had to do a little bit of jail time where he was given like, 12-hour work releases and all. It's just like, and then he just magically won the lottery in the form of, I think it was an 80 million. We're going to Google this. We're going to Google it up right now. We're going to use AI. We're gonna get the bottom of this. AI mode. EPSTINELOTTO win. Here we go. Let's see what it finds for us. All right. Oh, they're called so AI might be in on it. They're calling it a viral claim, even though it's absolutely a recent viral claim suggests Epstein won an $85 million Powerball jackpot on July 2nd, 2008, through an entity called Zorro Trust. While the trust indeed claimed the prize, so that's fact, absolute fact. The AI is trying to convince me that it may not have been Jeffrey himself that won, even though he was the owner of the trust. So, an Oklahoma-based Zorro Trust claimed a lump sum payment of $29.3 million after taxes from the July 2nd, 2008 Powerball drawing. Connections to the Epstein family used Zorro Trust in his financial dealings and named his New Mexican property Zorro Ranch. The discrepancy, reported from Oklahoma, identified the actual winner as a local woman who worked at a grocery store. But she chose the name Zorro Trust independently, leading to the confusion. So that was like that's the official. But let's see. But didn't guy associated with Steen sign the ticket? Because that's... Yeah, Bryce Gordon says, actually, a recent report from February of 2005 intensified these claims with a document surfacing that named Bryce Gordon, his longtime Zorro Ranch manager, as the trustee for the payout. Oh, wow! So, like, you guys see what's happening here? The AI tried to explain to me the true story of a woman from Oklahoma just picked that name. But then when I said, what about the guy who signed it? Oh, well, AI tells me it's just like, oh my God, dude, what is happening right now? Like... Okay, yeah, nothing, like, it's just like, man, I'm gonna dig a hole and climb into it and never come back. Like, it's so stupid. Like, dear AI, what's the point of having AI if it's supposed to be like helping me figure this out, and instead it gives me a narrative that's obviously contrived because all I had to do is type in, but the dude from the ranch signed it. Oh yeah, now that you mention it, it's just like, oh my God, dude. Be careful out there, kids. Be careful. It's just like, what is happening? So yeah, there you go. Jeffrey Epstein won the lottery. Just like, he won an 80 million. Oh, well, hold on. Because it didn't say anything about how the lotto was sketchy that night, did it? It didn't. We didn't see anything about that. So it's like we're there, DHER, tech malfunctions on the night night of the drawing. Here we go. We're there, here we go. Yes, there was a reported technical issue on the night of the drawing, which has since come to the central port of the theory. Oh, these are theories. Okay. The Powerball was preempted by a computer malfunction. Because of the glitch, the drawing was not shown live as scheduled. It was an off-camera drawing. Oh my God. It's like, I wonder if the guy behind, basically, I don't know what you would even call it, the running of the world, who got caught and had to go to jail. I wonder if there was a way we could pay him some money where it would be legal. Let's see, what could we do? We could preempt the drawing, stage the numbers, fake the whole thing, and give it to him, and it'll be okay. And then we'll just say a lady from a gas station won it. It's like, what? It just doesn't even make sense. Like, it's so crazy. Did you ever in your life think you'd see it's just like, and then I'm going to tell you this, just for funsies, after I read that, I was like, well, God, why didn't they just give the guy the Nobel Peace Prize? Did you know he tried to get it? Yeah, not even making that up. I asked the AI that as a joke. I was like, well, they should just get, oh no, he tried to get one. He heavily pressured the Nobel Peace Company. He was involved with them. He spent time with them, and he wanted to get a Nobel Peace Prize. That was like one of his things, and I'm surprised they didn't give him one. I gotta go grab some half and half real quick. Just ruminate on that for a second. It's just like, what? I mean, that came to my brain as a stupid hypothetical absurdity. Like, I tried to think of something the most absurd that I could think of. You know, like, I mean, like, oh yeah, he won the lotto. Like, okay, because that is literally absurd. So yeah, I came up with the Nobel Prize, and then it turned out, yeah, there's a connection. So at this point, it almost feels like a person could just come up with anything as stupid as you could possibly think, or as outlandish as you could possibly imagine, and the chances of it being based in the actual events is pretty close. Like, it just kind of blows it, like. You know, it's just like, you say some of the stuff out loud, it's like, well, I'm sure he probably had the most expensive piece of private real estate in all of New York City. You know, oh yeah, it turns out he did. Like, well, that makes sense. Like, oh, I just realized I used the wrong cup. I was supposed to use Initech. My bad. All right, what are we doing today? I was gonna make some hash browns, cook some eggs. Oh, yeah, just like, jeez Louise, that is so bonkers. Use a disgusting cutting board. Look how gross that thing is. Jeez. That is a rough one. That is a rough one, kids. But yeah, just... I think one of the things that's making this particular moment in the world of You Gotta Be Kidding Me a little more entertaining, I guess, if you want to call it entertaining, because you got to stay positive about it. It's despite the AI, you know, doing what you guys just witnessed in real time, where it was like, Hey, you asked a question? Let me give you something that's not really accurate. Oh, shit. Okay, well, here we go. Is you could take AI and you could start doing stuff to, like, investigate. So you can stick... Basically, the files are in the AI, and you can prompt the AI to do word searches and, like... So what... Somebody was like, Jesus, this is getting crazy. So they prompted the AI to, like, I don't know, can you make they made a music video. It's like, just put all the crazy shit in the music video and then let people watch it. And I watched that last night, and it's like, my God. Because it's like, it's almost so much that, like, a human can't even process it. It's just so bonkers. It's so bonkers. I mean, yeah, just... I love how there's brown spots inside the potatoes now. Like, what's going on, potatoes? What do you got to do to not have that in your potato? And for me, it's not just every once in a while. It's every single potato ever is going to have buried brown spots in it. Like, what are they doing to the potatoes now? Like, are they out whipping the potatoes? Like, this one's going to be just absolutely abhorrent. Oh well. We'll just cut the bad part out. It'll be fine. Nothing to see. Nowhere to go. Nothing to do but fix potatoes in the morning. Never mind. That is an absolute biohazard right there. I don't know if you guys saw it. Said that. We're just gonna go ahead and not do that one. I blame Epstein. Gosh, it's wild. What other interesting phenomenon are we experiencing right now on the old planet Earth? I guess I haven't checked the news today to see how absolutely batshit crazy things are currently going, but I did notice that in the videos online of the individuals up in the Minneapolis area who are so distraught over the federal agents, being there and, I don't know how you want to describe that, rounding people up for the death camps or whatever they're doing up there. I don't know what they're doing. I did notice that, sure seems like those people are a little bit on their better behavior. Anybody else notice that? They're a little bit on better behavior now. It's kind of weird. I mean, I think maybe a few folks got some ideas in their head from the governor about what they should be doing as a freedom fighter or whatever they were doing. And then a couple of them got ventilated. And then the rest of them were like, hey, hold on a second. I don't totally know if I'm that committed to the cause. But there's still a few. there's still a few. I saw a guy the other day. He went online and basically he had declared that he had had enough and it was over and it was time. The time was now and the place to meet. And he named the place to meet and the implements to bring. He named them and the people to use the implements against. He named them too. And then the next thing you know, he's looking at like I don't know, like a decade or something in prison. Yeah, that's a real thing. It's just like what are you doing, dude? I mean, okay. I mean, I guess you're allowed to if you want to. I mean, you go to jail for like a long time, but like that's commitment. Here we go. We're grinding up some potatoes. I mean, I don't even know, whatever. But I know the TV. I like to call it the TV, right? TV's going double time trying to get everybody convinced that they need to get all up in arms over whatever that was that happened or is happening. I actually had a conversation with some person. They were really upset. Oh, I can't believe this shit. I was like, well, yeah, but like, that's what fuck around and find out means. Actually, the person I had a conversation with, the thing I found so interesting was they were upset about the amount of training that the federal officers who did the deeds had. And my understanding for sure on one of them, the guy was like a veteran of like almost a decade. Which I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking like, well, where is this person I'm talking to getting this information that the individual involved in the fatal shooting didn't have the proper training? And it's like, oh, they watched the news. Oh, they're watching the news. Oh, okay, I got you. Like loud and clear. Like they're just like a sheep consuming grass, and the grass is like, argh! And it's like, okay, I got you. That makes sense now. Like, my God. How could this happen? I don't understand. And then, like, the people getting everybody so riled up. It's like, man, I wonder if, like, do we need to pass a law in the country that says if you rile people up and they go do shit, maybe you're going to get in trouble? I think we actually have them. I think it's called incitement, but, like, it's just like, it's kind of wild. There's a lot of froth on that. Anybody see the froth on this juice here? I kept hearing about how they're just murdering people in the streets. And it's like, man, no, like, we don't want that. We don't want people getting murdered in the streets. So like, all right, let's investigate the incidences. The first one, did everybody in the street get murdered? Who got murdered? One person? Oh my God. Turns out they're not murdering people in the streets. I think one of the more interesting things I saw was like the death count in New York City, I believe, from the cold weather we've been having involving the people who live on the street. I didn't hear an uproar about that. We're gonna Google that one too. We're gonna AI Google that one because I believe it was 12 people. Let's look this up. Here, Gemini. How many homeless folks died in NYC in the recent cold SNAP return? Let's find out. I think I heard 12. Oh, sorry, 17. Okay, here we go. 17 people have died outdoors, indoors. Okay, so think about that. Two, and I can't say the word because I'll get in trouble. We'll say intellectually handicapped, apparently, individuals lost their lives in Minneapolis when doing things that if anybody else did, most likely could potentially end in their life also being cut short. Generally speaking. Like you generally shouldn't go hands-on ever because a result could be you could lose your life with a federal officer. I'm not justifying or saying that it's a good idea, but just generally, if you start fighting with cops, your chances of getting dead are a lot more hands-on. Same with driving a car, even remotely clear to where a police officer may think that's just generally your life expectancy is diminishing greatly. 2 people. 17 people died in New York City because they didn't have housing. But in New York City, they're giving housing to people who generally could be perceived as maybe should be living in a different country. Now, I don't know. Let's see if we can find out how many of them were Americans. Let's do that. Because if it's foreigners dying, I still feel bad. But let's find out how many were USACIT citizens. Let's find that out. Because it seems to be it's the amount of dead bodies that we're worried about here on planet Earth. Oh, they won't reveal the citizen status. They're calling them New Yorkers. 10 of the 17s were known by the Department of Homeless Services and previously engaged with New York's shelter system. So, we're talking double digits humans who are known to have homeless issues died in the United States. Now, you telling me they couldn't come up with 10 warm rooms in New York City for the people to go to? Or were those 10 rooms not available? See how this works? Is anyone following this and understanding? Two dead bodies in Minneapolis. Let's try to get a nationwide riot going. 17 people die of homelessness in New York. Sports next. You know what I mean? It's just oh my God, dude, what is happening? Trust me, neither one of those scenarios is good. I'm not a fan of either. It's just an observation of I'm sure, I'm almost positive of this, there's probably 10 people in New York who are probably not supposed to be, who have extended their legal allowable time. We'll just put that. There's probably at least 10 people in New York who have extended their legal allotted time in the country. We'll just say that. How about that? Is that will that get me out of jail? Will that get me out of you're in trouble? Because you can always come on a tourist. You can be here as a tourist. A lot of people don't know that's how it works. You can buy a ticket and come to the United States and visit, and then you can just stay, and then you're here against the rules. But it's just kind of wild to think about. I don't know the circumstances of all 17 people. It's absolutely possible, and it's absolutely realistic, and it probably actually happened that some of those people just died of natural causes. That's a real situation. Let me see how I get some oil on this without I don't even know if I'm filming what I'm doing here. I forgot to oil those before I put them. I should have put them in a bowl of oil. Okay, we're just gonna sprinkle some oil over the top. Give the old, hope that works. This is not a how-to channel. I'll leave the how-to to the professionals, the real pros. You know what I'm talking about. You ever met someone that was so pro at something? They were so pro at something they couldn't do it. You ever met that? Actually had an interaction like that the other day. Had an interaction with a person that was so fucking good at what they did, they couldn't do it. And then when it was pointed out to them that they were not doing what they were supposed to be so good at, they resulted to insults. They started insulting me. That's fucking hilarious. I actually started laughing. The person insulting me, I don't want to hurt anyone's feeling, but is essentially a drug-dealing, gambling-addicted piece of shit. That was the best part of it. It was oh, that's classic. An absolute, and maybe, hopefully he hears this, and I'll let you know, of an absolute fucking loser. When I asked them why they weren't doing something they were so good at, they started insulting me in my abilities. That was their response, was to insult me. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess back to DoorDash, friend. I don't know what to tell you. I just left. Like a person like me is gonna engage back and forth with a quality human like that. Oh my god, bro. Like, either you don't pay enough attention or you don't understand what's happening. Like, it just made me laugh. I just laughed. Some of the funniest shit I've ever experienced in my life. Obviously an online interaction, obviously. Because in real life, that person would either be like, I don't know. Well, they wouldn't know who I was. They wouldn't be associating with me. In real life, there'd be 0% chance of that. I got a kick out of it, though. It did make me laugh. All right. We're going to cook some eggs. What are we going to cook eggs on? I guess I just do small griddle. Anyways, what else is going on that I just saw the other day? Oh, here we go. You guys ready for this one? Did you watch the Grammys? That was pretty good. I didn't, but I've seen the fallout from the Grammys, which I think is like kind of funny. It always feels like, given the opportunity for people in certain positions to just say nothing, they can't help themselves and they have to say something. So my understanding of the Grammys, it peaked at the female song of the year, I believe, songwriter of the year was Billie Eilish, very famous young, I think she's 24, female song smith, if you will. She took her opportunity when she won her award to announce to the world. She took her opportunity to announce to the world her position on how she felt about the legal status of who owns the land and who could be in America by stating the words, "No one is illegal on stolen land," which an amazing opportunity to spread that message. Because, it sounds like what she's saying is first come, first serve, I guess. Or, actually, it wouldn't be first come, first serve, because I think what she's trying to say is last held before current model is who should have it. Because the first people that came, they don't, like in North America, like, assuming, like, we'll just say the land bridge from Alaska, those are the first people. Well, they no longer were in charge, and the land's been transferred from tribe to tribe. So what she was trying to say is the people who held it last before it was colonized by Europeans are the rightful owners. So no one's illegal on stolen land, I guess. I think that's what she was trying to say. I don't really know for sure. I don't know how far back her philosophy goes, if it was the first known, the first oral, storied people are the ones who are supposed. I don't know for certain. That's a little bit. What I do know is she doesn't think the current owners of the land are the ones who should be owning it, because you can't own it and tell people they can't be here because it's stolen land. Okay, fair enough. But someone pointed out that her mansion is on indigenous tribes' land, and perhaps she may consider giving it back since it's stolen land. Unfortunately, that's not going well for her. This is kind of crazy. There are people who work in the realm of law who are claiming her declaration of its stolen land is enough for the process to start for her to be evicted, because she made a public declaration that she believes she has stolen her property, or that property is stolen. So, like, there's actually, like, law firms that are looking into seeing if they can get her through. It's just like, whoa, whoa, what's happening? Like, and this is a tragedy. There have been people who have gone to her property in the past and have been arrested for trespassing. So now people want to know, is she going to drop those charges since they essentially entered her land and were deemed to be illegally on the land and now are facing the consequences? The question's been brought up, well, is she going to drop those charges because, per her own belief system stated publicly on a national forum, the Grammys, I believe, no one is illegal on stolen land. Which is, it's kind of interesting. It's an interesting take on things. I mean, I don't have an opinion on stolen land. I mean, at some point you just have to acknowledge we live in a society that has a set of base rules, and some of them are like titles and deeds, and those have legal standing, But it's just kind of interesting. And it's gone super crazy too. Like there was a guy from Australia that was going to he was going to come over. He was a YouTube guy. He was going to come over to America and move in because he didn't think that an American should be trying to harsh on her land. He thought maybe they should have a person from a foreign country come over because that would be more appropriate. I don't think that's even nearly warm enough. I'm going to warm cook an egg here. Oh, don't do it. Just hold off. A little damage on that egg. But yeah, it's like, woo! I don't think that went quite like she thought. I'd hate to be the person, because I'm sure she didn't come up with that. I don't follow that singer very much, but I don't. Oh, I'm screwing this up. Something fierce. The partially opened, stopped process egg crack is not the greatest move ever. But anyways, yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think she's probably going to have to give up her land. I think mostly what's going to happen is she's just going to look exactly the way she looks right now after saying that and have it all. It's like almost the Streisand effect, if you guys are familiar with that. Barbra Streisand once famously said, "You can't take pictures of my property because," well, I guess because she's Barbra Streisand, and in her self-centric universe, the world worked different for her because she sang songs and was famous for it. And because she declared, "You can't take pictures of my house," that just made people be like, really? Well, I guess my new mission in life, or their new mission in life, was to take pictures of her house, and then from that point forward, her house was extraordinarily photographed, thus creating the term the Streisand effect. Is when you yell out stupid shit, it just draws attention to your stupid shit that you're yelling out, and then your stupid shit gets scrutinized. So I think Barbra Streisand might be old enough. They might start calling it the Eilish effect, potentially. And maybe it's a little different. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me, though. There was another guy who, I think he won some awards. I don't really know, because I'll be honest with you, I don't follow mainstream music award shows. I never have, just because whatever. I just never have. But there was another guy as a, I don't know what kind of country singer, hip hop, tattooed obese guy named Jelly Roll. I need to try to figure out how to flip these hash browns. Yeah, I need to stir these somehow. Let's try to figure this out. They tried to get him involved in the whole let's rile up the country bandwagon. And he took a position which I thought was kind of interesting. He didn't have enough guts to say, just to say, hey dude, I make music, just buy my music. He turned it into a little bit of a, I don't know what you would call it, kind of a pity party, I guess. Basically, the sum up was, I'm a stupid redneck, I have no idea what's going on. But he indulged it with, I grew up in a household that was essentially extraordinarily dysfunctional, is what he said. And like, they had other shit to worry about with politics and shit like that. Basically, he said, and then summed it up. And he's kind of like he's a a folk hero now for saying, like, basically, hey, just how about we just listen to my music, please? Like, I'm not here to give a lesson. I'm writing music. Type of message. So he came out smelling like a rose from the event, as opposed to a political activist, I guess. Is that a thing? Note if anyone's watching, when you get your moment to shine in the limelight. Learn from Billy and Jelly. Billy and Jelly. Oh, Billy and Jelly. Kind of funny. I feel like I started my egg too soon. My toast is still toasting. My potatoes is still potatoing. I think what else is going on? There's so much crazy shit. Just like, you know, something about the lottery thing, though, man. That was just almost too much for me. But somehow, like, I think in the back of my brain, I remember hearing it. And I think what it was is because it was the association with the Zorro Ranch, but it kind of got, you know, it got officially set to the side because the lady from Oklahoma just picked that. That's what they said. But this document dropped with the guy that worked for the ranch being on the, yeah, that changes everything. Unless, oh man, I'll tell you what. I cleaned my toaster the other day, and I lubricated it. I'm not even going to make this up. This is the truth. I cleaned that toaster so good, and I lubed it so good, and this is the truth. You'll be able to tell by the number of slices on my plate. Now, like one every 6 times, I only get one piece of toast because it launches the bread so far it goes flying and it lands on the floor. So yeah, I get one piece of bread now because the other one's behind the toaster on the floor. I'm not going to eat off the floor because, well, I just don't eat off the floor, generally speaking. Huh. I bet they'd eat that beef jerky off the floor, the way they talk about it in the emails. Man, so goddamn good. Absolutely baffling. Oh, the Olympics started. Somehow nobody cares. Check these potatoes. I'm calling those good. It's a lot of potatoes, but I'm not gonna lie. I got a weak spot for potatoes. They call me potato salad. Uh-oh. Battery malfunction. One of them popped loose. There it is, right there. Nope. Gotta go to the backup. Alright, that's off. Everything's off. Flip some of these out of the way. Put them on the old bread. Yeah, I don't know. What else is going on in the world? Must be something. Let's try this. Okay. We'll see what the AI will do for a summary of the latest revelations. I talked to somebody the other day, asked what they thought about this, and they're like, oh, we're not paying any attention to it. Oh. Not just the lotto. It just gave me the lotto. But all of it. Give the highlights. Let's see what that says. JP Morgan and Deutsche Bank, well, they were in for 300 million. 200 names unsealed. An extortion theory has been released. Significant misconduct has been found. Foul play in the suicide scenario. Receive favorable treatments, allowing the installation for the surveillance systems in the property. The U.S. Virgin Islands successfully sued the estate for over 100 million, revealing he's essentially bought his residency and tax breaks to facilitate his operations. Interesting. It's just like stuff like that. But yet, to my understanding, with the exception of Maxwell and old Jeffrey, there wasn't nobody else that did any crimes. There's nobody else that's culpable. There's a famous movie called Eyes Wide Shut. Francis Ford Coppola was the director. Whoop. And supposedly, he was not allowed to release the movie the way he wanted to release it. It was deemed unreleasable, and I think he died shortly after that. I think they killed him. The rumor on the road, or in the street, if you will. Man, this could be a juicy one. If you watch the movie, there's like, it kind of is weird. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. There's like parts of the movie that kind of like, why did they put that in there? But then if you go back and you find out what the movie was supposed to have in it, oh, well, you're here this week. Welcome to the stream. Like in the movie, there's a scene where the guy runs into someone's kid or something, and it's kind of random and doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But allegedly, what was supposed to be in the movie, and they cut out, was up to including the concept of prostitution with people who were not of legal age, and or human sacrifice was supposed to be in the movie. And they took it out. I mean, if you've never seen the movie, it's a Tom Cruise movie. with Nicole Kidman. And essentially, like, Cruz ends up going to a party, not invited. A guy he knows that plays piano is like, yeah, I go to this place. I play piano with a blindfold on. Here's the address. Here's the password. He goes and he sees like basically an orgy happening. And apparently it was supposed to be a little more graphic, and they didn't put it out because evidently it was a documentary apparently. You found my show via the other platform on Rumble? Yeah, I did. They had it set up so I could like auto upload to Rumble for my YouTube channel, then they shut it off. And I couldn't ever make it go again. And I'm far too lazy to re-upload. So I just stuck with YouTube. I like being on Rumble. I like the idea of it. I don't have the intestinal fortitude to double upload. I mean, I barely got enough efforts in my life just to do the single upload. That's why I don't do any editing or anything. It's just like, I know a lot of people are into that, but I'm just into like, I'm living my life. I'm willing to grab a camera and film myself every once in a while. Yeah, Eyes Wide Shut's the movie. So, like the internet meme going right now is like, Eyes Wide Shut wasn't supposed to be a documentary, just kind of like the same thing with like Idiocracy wasn't supposed to be a documentary. And it's like turning into one. It's like, my God. But yeah, it's just like, it's starting, I mean, and I can't do anything about any of the stuff that's coming out. I mean, far beyond my pay grade. It just sucks that like regular people live on the earth in the country they live in, and they're subject to the decisions that are made in government by people who perhaps are being blackmailed. That's the thing that I find extraordinarily frustrating. Yeah. Yeah, that's a true story. Sorry, I forgot. I'm supposed to read this stuff out. So I told a story a couple weeks ago about a experience I had in a foreign language camp, political refugee language camp when I was living in Denmark. This lady had horrendous BO. Yeah, if you missed the first part, we were talking about in the latest Epstein drop, there's been confirmation that a guy associated with his ranch, I think it was in Arizona or South, he had a ranch in the Southwest on the border, I think, the Zorro Ranch and the Zorro Trust. The confirmation came out that the guy from the associated with the property was the signee on a lotto ticket purchased in Oklahoma worth $82 million. That on the night of the drawing, there was a technical glitch and the drawing wasn't done live on camera. It was done off camera, not live. So that rumor had been out, and I had the AI look it up to it, and the AI was like, oh no, a lady in Oklahoma who just picked trust. Then I said, what about the guy who signed for it? And the AI was like, oh yeah, no, the guy from the Epstein estate or the Zorro Ranch Epstein guy, he signed for it. And it's like, okay, so Epstein won the lottery. It was right when he went to jail the first time. Essentially got Zorro Ranch. So he essentially won the lot. He won the Powerball magically. right as he was going to jail, as in like, hey, sorry, Mr. Epstein, there's nothing we can do. We have to put you in jail because if we don't, it's going to look so bad. Even though it looked pretty bad what they did, like he didn't do nearly what he should have done the first time, because they caught him so red-handed. They almost let him go scot-free, and then someone kind of pointed out, like, hey, we're going to have to do something here because there's laws with minimum standards. And I think basically what happened is like, well, I guess we'll put you in jail, but we're going to give you a kickback. Well, how are we going to give you a kickback that's legal? Well, we'll just have him win the lottery. Okay, problem solved. Win the lottery. And the Zorro Ranch thing, I couldn't even talk about that. Like what people accuse that place of doing. Because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's very, very close to the border. So, like, just use your imagination about what happens at the border with illegal activity, and I'm pretty sure that was involved. But it's just like, man alive. Oh, God. It's like, essentially, like, the lotto can be used to kickbacks, payoffs, all that. Kind of remind me, like, you guys remember they used to do the McDonald's Monopoly? It's not quite the same because McDonald's wasn't involved in the thievery of what happened, but the company that printed the pieces of paper for the prizes had figured out how to game the system. And a whole sleight of hand, because McDonald's tried to set up a system where like it was overseen and people were hands-on, eyes looking. And they were doing like sleight of hand envelope swapping. They'd smuggle out the winning pieces and they'd give them to their friends. But they were so greedy they couldn't just take a little bit and be done with it. They had to keep stealing all of it, and they kind of ran out of people to give the prizes to. And then like someone kind of pointed out, it's like, it's kind of weird that like everyone that's winning this shit lives on the East Coast and kind of is all related and knows, like they're all like they were recruiting people to win the prizes, but even if you're recruiting somebody, it's still somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, you know what I mean? Like, it's only so many steps away from the original person. But, you know. It makes you wonder, like how much of, I mean, pick anything. I guess we'll do the lottery. How much of the lottery is actually legit? If what appears to have happened with Epstein is true, and a powerful, it probably isn't a person, it had to be a group, was able to come into, and I'm pretty sure it was Powerball, which is a nationwide lottery, was able to basically say, here's the deal. You're going to pull this evening's drawing. You're not going to go live. And this Powerball is going to be won by a person of our choosing. And the people were like, okay. And you think about what is involved in something like that. And it just makes you, it's just like, whoa, dude. Because it looks like that's what happened. I know some of the stuff's like, well, it's just coincidence, but like, I mean, I get coincidence, but like, coincidences work to be coincidental because the set of events that are perceived to have happened could either actually have happened or it could just be a coincidence that it looks like. It's like, so like, the opposite side of a coincidence is because that's what happened. You know, does that make sense? Like it had to be Oklahoma because it had to be a state that you could have a trust file. Because not all states you can claim the lotto ticket and not your name. But there seems to be an arrogance with some of the things that like transpire when it comes to like people that I guess run the world. Like it's like one of their little games. They like to put it out in front of everybody. I think one of my favorite things I've ever read. Give me 1 second here. I blow my nose again. There's a whole rabbit hole of the first George Bush, president of the United States, and whether he was involved with the CIA previous to him becoming the director of the CIA. Because there's allegations that he was a CIA guy. But officially he wasn't. And there was this whole thing involving like money and like offshore oil companies and this and that and like it's just like I think at this point it's been established, but in the beginning it was like, no, that's not him. He didn't do that. That wasn't his. And like, let me look it up. I'm just rambling bull hockey. Let's see. Like the point of what I'm saying is when that at the time it was like a controversial thing, and they're trying to figure out if he was involved. They're like, well, what was the name of the corporation's boats? And they named the boats of the corporation that was tied to the CIA stuff, and allegedly George Bush, the Barbara. Well, that's his wife's name. It's like the boat's named after his wife, but he's not. It's like, oh, okay. Let me type this in. All right, historical ones. Here we go. Okay. So there was a cover story for decades. Investigators have alleged that George Bush's Zapata offshore oil company served as a front for the CIA operations, including providing cover for agents involving the Pay of Bigs invasion. But like for a while, they were like, no, it's not George Bush. And then it was like, what's the name of the boat? It was like the Barbara. And it's like, oh, okay. It's just stuff like that where it's like, hey, we're doing some shit here. What should we name this? And they're just like, well, don't name it something inconspicuous. Name it after that guy's wife who's involved. And it's like, oh, yeah. And then say and then if someone points it out, just say, no, man, that's just a coincidence. It's like, oh, okay. Points of data all in a straight line. That's just a coincidence. It's like, I got you. No, not coincidental. It's just kind of funny. But big Super Bowl game today. Everybody's gonna be tuning in. I was gaming last night, and we had a group going, and someone kind of brought up that the Super Bowl was coming up, and blah blah blah. And one person's like, "I'm gonna watch the alternative Super Bowl halftime show." That's all they said. And someone else had to leave group because it triggered them. Well, I don't know that for coincidentally, they left group right after that was stated. I'm just like, my God, dude. People are losing their minds so bad right now that, like, even the suggestion of not participating in the viewing of the state-sanctioned official Super Bowl versus the alternative Super Bowl halftime show is too much for some, potentially. Coincidentally, I mean, I suppose it's possible that the person left group exactly after that was stated for another reason. It's just like, And then there's a small discussion if that was wrong. Should the person not have said that they're going to not watch the Super Bowl halftime show? They're going to watch a different version of the Super Bowl, the alternative one. And I said, well, what if I say this? I'm not going to watch either. I'm not going to watch the real halftime show or the alternative. Is anyone going to get mad at that? Like, is that forbidden? Is that a forbidden stance to be? Because like now the Super Bowl is even being divided into it's us or them, and it's a Super Bowl halftime show. It's just like, what is happening right now? Yep. The halftime show is a thing now to be polarized. Anyways, I've gone past my hour. If you caught it live, appreciate it. If you didn't catch it live, you missed out. But, yep, I'm done. I'll catch you guys later. Enjoy the Super Bowl, or the halftime show, or the alternative halftime show, or whatever madness you're into. Good luck with everything, everybody. Peace!